got a question? Welcome to After the Flag from Aragon. This week's guest is Pol Espargaro, and he's well known as being one of the cheekier chappies of the paddocks. Rather than doing your standard interview, we thought we'd try something a little bit different. Now, it's fairly quiet in the paddock at the moment, which I'm guessing means that everyone is still in the campus. So let's head over there and see if he's about. Good morning!
Good morning!
How are you?
Good?
I'm not too bad, how are you?
Let's go! Yeah.
How's it been for you this year? Because it's your second year in the MotoGP class, and obviously perhaps you haven't got all of the results you're expecting, but has it been any easier coming to each Grand Prix with at least a bit more of a base setup? Or?
Yeah, well, this weekend I think this year, sorry, I think we found some different problems that it was not for sure my best year. After the last year, I thought that this year could be a little bit easier because what you are explaining, with more experience on the tracks and with more info should be better. But some problems, we found some problems this year with to find the grid, to turn the bike, and it takes me so much time during the weekends to set up the bike, and on the race normally we were not ready. But okay, this ending of year, last races were not bad. I think we are improving, and looking forward to start this GP, and the races are coming because I think we can do good results.
And despite all of this, you're always the guy with the smile on your face walking around the paddock. So that's why I thought you would perhaps be the guy up for the challenge. So I'm going to give you this.
Okay.
And you're going to be recording this weekend for me Pol's vlog. So it's like a video diary.
That's good.
Film everything. Don't leave it anywhere.
Okay, you will see me in my private moments.
Oh no, not too private, please, not too private.
It's okay.
Okay, so I'll leave you with that, and I'll catch up with you after lunch and see how you're getting on.
Perfect.
All right, see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Ding, ding, ding. Hello. Et voilà! The kitchen!
And it's time to make the breakfast.
Bonjour Thomas, bonjour, buenos dias. Hey guys, Maxime, it's time to make the technical debrief. We have some work to do. Yuri, you come to speak a little bit now? See you later. It's my media debrief time, and I'm a little bit late, so I have to say I'm sorry. Super Boss! Hi, we are in Monster Tech Hospitality, ready to make some interviews. We start with Sky Sports. Hi guys, let's start. I let the camera here, okay?
How are you getting on?
Come here, baby.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I wasn't just coming to check up on you, I was actually chasing you down because fans questions, Twitter questions time. So
I have underpants.
What's not a Twitter question?
Is it a question?
No.
Huh? Okay.
Twitter questions.
Okay.
What was that? Okay, anyway, moving on. Twitter questions. The first one comes from @AnnaNow993, and she or he has asked you, if you could ride again in any race from your career to improve the result or enjoy it again, which one would you choose and why?
To improve the result, a lot of races, a lot of races. I think all the races I have done, but not one. There is one race that I did perfect. I think I did perfect, and I enjoyed it so much. It was my best race ever. I love Phillip Island. It's my favorite track for sure, and my favorite place. And it was one weekend in 2012 in Moto2, my second year. I won for 18 seconds different. I think the biggest gap in Moto2 ever.
Nice.
And you know, I were like riding the bike and just enjoying flying. Just, you know, when you ride fast and you ride, you take fun. And yeah, I were in, you know, on the flying, you know, with the bike, and this was my dream race. I dreamed this race a lot of times, and I live it. It was so beautiful.
Nice. The second question comes from @Nerviani, and he's asked you which one, Spider-Man or Iron Man, and why?
Iron Man.
Really?
Yeah.
The outfit is better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like, you know, Spider-Man is just, you know, somewhere.
Lycra.
Yeah. Iron Man is rude. You know,
He's
he's
pretty
hard,
bad,
he's
yeah.
bad, yeah. And also, he's you know, sophisticated, cute. He's like modern, like famous.
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man likes to be, you know.
He's under the radar a little bit.
He's just a journalist.
What do you mean he's just a journalist?
No, I mean, but in compared to the Iron Man is like, he's rich, big house on the beach, beautiful
He's
views.
like the boss.
Yeah, he's like.
He's like Leonardo
king.
DiCaprio
He's like,
in that film.
Yeah.
The one I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah.
Right, I'm going to leave you to the rest of your day. Now, the most important thing, Pol, don't let me down. You've got to finish the vlog. That's the most important thing. Everyone forgets. So make sure before you go to bed to sign off, say goodbye.
Okay.
And I'm keeping my trust in you, all right? Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, thank
See
you very
later.
much. See you.
Bye.
Say bye-bye. Okay. Team together. Give me 5.
Hi everyone, it was a tough, very tough day here in Aragon. So it's 10 p.m. So it's time to go to sleep, rest a little bit. It will be a really long weekend, but now it's time to go to bed. And just sleep a little bit before the storm tomorrow. See you, good night.
Well, Amy talking with Pol Espargaro got me thinking, because Pol is one of those riders that's very aggressive on the bike, very much with the elbow down, a very spectacular riding style. So we thought, well, why not take a look at some of the different riding styles there are, especially from the guys that are always up at the front. Now, we have a special guest coming to talk to us about it, but in the meantime, let's hear it from Jorge Lorenzo and Marc Marquez.
I'm always more or less in the same line all the race, and then also I don't waste so much energy changing direction or moving so quick on the bike. Normally my movements are quite smooth, and normally I save a little bit more energy than a very aggressive rider.
You know, my style on the bike maybe is one of the most aggressive, and always I try to push, try to give my 100%.
If you always left something in the back, no? You are 98%, 99% in all your laps. You always can brake just half a meter before. So if you brake half a meter before than your limit, then it's difficult to make a mistake on your line. So probably this is the difference between me and Marc, who always try to be at his maximum, no?
Of course, it's difficult to compare my riding style, for example, with Lorenzo. Lorenzo looks, when you look him, looks like maybe he's 2 seconds slower than Marquez, but then he's maybe 2 seconds faster. So when you are on the bike, always you try to be smooth, but sometimes the way to ride the bike is another one, and you need to push. For example, with the Honda, you need to brake really hard. In the exit of the corner is shaking most of the time, and yeah, but it's the way to ride, and in the end the most important is the lap time in the end of the lap.
Well, our guest has arrived now. Alberto Puig, you might know him as he's bred quite a few world champions in the past, one of them being Casey Stoner. He's mentored Danny Pedrosa, and now he's also with younger guys, especially in the Asia Talent Cup. Alberto, thank you very much for joining us.
No worries.
Alberto, we've just heard from Mark and from Jorge about their different riding styles, but with you, I think we should split it into two different camps. Yamaha, which you know from looking at them, but then we will also talk about Honda. In terms of the different riding styles, I think a lot of it not only has to do with the rider, but I think also with the bikes.
Well, it is true. I mean, I think the rider has his own style, but also the bike gives you some feedback, so you have to follow sometimes what the bike wants to do. But in terms of style, it's clear that all top riders have a different style. No? I think in this case, mentioning Jorge and Marquez, they are quite different styles. I mean, one guy is more aggressive, like Mark, and one other guy, Lorenzo, is much more precise, one much more with a more clean line, and probably more gentle on the throttle. To mention like two key points of each rider, we could say that Marquez is crazy late in braking, super late in braking, and he has the ability to stop the bike very fast, which is very important, no? In a very short time, and to flick it down, no? Also, the enter of the corner, he can go, if the bike makes different, or he can change the line, he can adapt quite well, no? He goes into the corner sliding many times, while Lorenzo is completely different. He tries to find one line in the corner, much more trying not to stress the bike so much, and it's also, I think this is a little bit more a Yamaha riding style, no? Compared to the Honda, which also creates a lot of effect in the final result of your lap and your lap time.
Speaking about Mark being so aggressive on the bike, going to his teammate Danny, it often surprises me because Danny, from a size point of view, is still quite a bit smaller than Mark, but the bike still weighs exactly the same. It's essentially pretty much still the same bike. Does that mean it's so much more difficult for Danny to achieve the same lap time?
Well, this is clear. I mean, I think I've said this for many years, and I think Danny has a big handicap because he's a smaller rider, and it's clear. It's physical. I mean, he's much smaller than the rest, so he has to do much more effort, but probably in other things he has some advantage. But also to say, I mean, if we have to mention Danny's style, I mean, he's super precise with the throttle. He's very good with the throttle. He understands the moment to accelerate, and I think in this, and also his speed corner in the middle of the corner, he's even faster than Marquez many times, if you check. But compared to Marquez, he's not as good going into the corner, you know.
Well, I think, you know, you've mentioned quite a lot about the throttle. What about the actual body positioning? I mean, you know, looking at the Hondas and even the Yamahas, because with Danny, we almost see the entire body off the bike.
Yeah.
With Valentino, not so much. Is that just a size thing or also to do with style?
I think it's a style, but also size. I mean, clearly Danny with his size is not so easy. But on the other way, Danny is super good to pick up the bike. I think him together with Casey are the best for this. I mean, they're super fast to pick up the bike.
Because they are so far off, they can lift
I think
it?
this is style.
Okay.
I think, my opinion, this is style. They have this natural style to pick up the bike and put the throttle. And if they can put the throttle fast, but also they can take care the way they put the throttle, this makes that they will save the tire. I think, okay, position-wise, if you see Marquez, the position, his body language on the bike is perfect because he's bigger than Danny and he's really on top of the machine. So he creates a lot of load. I think this is a benefit also for him because some tracks that you don't have a good temperature, if you cannot load the tire, you will have problems with grip and even to hit it. So let's say Rossi could be like in another... Rossi has been modifying his style a lot, I think, also. Also Lorenzo. Because Lorenzo before he was a one-position guy in the corner, not moving. Now you can see that in the last 2 years he has modified his style and he's picking up the bike. I think the guy understood he had to do it and he made a good effort and he managed to improve. And Rossi, I think he's also adapted his style a little bit, but he still is, let's say, out of these four, the less, let's say, the oldest in the style.
Okay, well, Alberto, thank you
Yes.
very much for that.
Yeah,
very,
no
very
problem.
interesting.
Thank you a lot.
And now we're going to leave you guys with the highlights from Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP.
Very good morning to you from Motorland Aragon. round 14 of the MotoGP World Championship. For Danny Kent, it's a big, big race. Will he be 55 points or more in front at the end of 20 laps? We are about to find out here in Aragon.
Great start from the middle of the front row of the grid by number 44, Miguel Oliveira. He's going to get the lead down into this tight first corner. Oliveira leads from Bastianini. Danny Kent's lost 2 places. Great start by Jorge Martin from 4th. Great move at turn 3 by the Portuguese rider. Oliveira holds the lead. Danny Kent hits the front, the World Championship leader. Great move up the inside of Oliveira. There he's got his answer, Miguel Oliveira, around the outside of Kent through turn number 16.
We ride with Oliveira behind in the battle rages for second place. They fan out 3 abreast into the corner. Could be Navarro that moves into second place. Danny Kent, though, picks him off. Oliveira now leads the way, and 2 riders, Bastianini and Navarro, get past Danny Kent.
Oh, Binder's high side, and Bastianini's down.
Oh, Bastianini's gone down as well. That is the end, perhaps, of his World Championship aspiration.
Miguel Oliveira's going to win the Aragon Grand Prix. Oh, Kent's crashed. Danny Kent's high side at the final corner. What late drama here in Aragon.
Miguel Oliveira wins here, his 3rd Grand Prix victory of the season. Jorge Navarro, that's his first podium finish. 3rd place for Finati. So, welcome back to Aragon. It's Wild West country here, isn't it?
Will Zarco be the world champion in about 45 minutes' time?
21 laps of Motorland Aragon could decide the Moto2 World Championship 2015.
Brilliant start from Pol by Tito Rabat, the reigning world champion.
That's coming through 15, isn't it?
Xavier Simeon with Aegerter. The race has been red flagged. That is because the medics will still be treating Dominic Aegerter.
14 laps over will decide perhaps the fate of the 2015 Moto2 World Championship.
It was another great start by Tito Rabat. He's going to get the whole shot yet again. Alex Rins is in second place. Luti has made a move up the inside of Johan Zarco. Zarco now back down in 8th place. Alex Rins and Tito Rabat.
Rabat up the inside at turn 1, and Tito Rabat takes the lead.
Tito Rabat is going to win the Aragon Grand Prix, his 2nd victory of the season.
Sam Lowe's excellent 3rd place. We have to wait for at least another 2 weeks for a new world champion is crowned. A very good afternoon to you from the Motorland Aragon circuit for a crucial round 14 of the MotoGP World Championships. 23 points separate the 2 Yamaha riders. Here we go in Aragon.
Lorenzo did make a good start. Marc Marquez has dropped back a few places. Lorenzo's going to get the whole shot. Iannone up the inside of Marc Marquez. Pol Espargaro holding 4th place. Marc Marquez is up the inside of Iannone at turn number 7. He's got to make a move pretty quick.
Marquez is out. Marquez has crashed out of the race for the 2nd year in succession here in Aragon. Marc Marquez out. 21 and a half laps to go.
There we go. The message clear and crystal to Jorge Lorenzo. Marquez out. Pedrosa on the inside of Andrea Iannone at turn number 7. If Rossi can fight his way to the front of this battle, he'll only be losing 5 points to Jorge Lorenzo.
Rossi moves into 3rd place. Here he comes, Rossi up the inside. Rossi into 2nd place. Pedrosa fights back as they come through. Listen to the crowd. That's turn 5.
Rossi now, it's going to be a lunge up the inside at 15. Pedrosa will cut it back though. It's going to be a horsepower shootout down the back straight. The Honda will be the favourite. Rossi looks like he's blown it.
Jorge Lorenzo though wins here in Motorland Aragon.
Great 2nd place for Dani Pedrosa. Those 4 points that Rossi lost in that battle with Dani Pedrosa, they could be absolutely crucial. 14 points now, the deficit as we head to the flyaways.
Jorge Lorenzo winning here in Aragon exactly the way he likes to, with plenty of clear track in front of him from the start of the race. Livio Supo, team principal at Repsol Honda, joins us this week for the race recap. Livio, thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you to you.
It was a race of two halves for Honda. I'd like to start by talking about Marc, because unfortunately for him, he crashed out in the early stages of the race. We've seen him crash out a number of times this year. I think this was his 5th crash. But for some reason, he looked visibly more frustrated with himself. Do you know why that was?
Yeah, because it was his mistake. So, of course, he knew that at the end of the race, with the used tire, he had an unbelievable pace this morning in the warm-up. He did his best lap time at the end. And so I can imagine in that moment, knowing that he was just trying too much too quickly, he was really desperate because he knew that he had very good chance to fight till the end. But that racing is a bad season. Looks like if something can go wrong, this season goes wrong. It's unbelievable that in 2013, as a rookie, did only one mistake in all season, and this year is the 5th crash. But again, at the beginning of the season, he was struggling with the bike, and so the crashes was more related to the fact that he was not comfortable on the bike. But the last two in Silverstone with the rain can happen, and here, okay, it's a mistake, but we love him anyway.
On the other side of the garage, you must be so proud of Dani Pedrosa today. He put in a sterling performance. It was great to see that ride from him. But he managed to kind of defend Valentino and stop him from passing on numerous occasions. What advantage do you think he had here?
I'm sure he had extra motivation being in Spain, and it's a circuit he likes. Has been always very fast here. But I'm really, really pleased because especially the beginning of the season for Dani has been super difficult. Qatar Sunday night was really, worried because I saw him desperate because his arm was really bad, and now he can fight till the end of the race. It means that his condition is good. Okay, this circuit is not a difficult circuit for his arm, but anyway, his condition is good, and I'm so happy he found this extra motivation to fight with as he said in the press conference, the master of fighting, because Valentino is super strong in this kind of situation. So I'm really, really pleased for him.
Earlier in the programme, we were having a look at riding style. Do you think his riding style lended himself to this track at all?
Sometimes his riding style, sometimes he's neither rider knows why they really like the circuit, but for sure this circuit suits very well Dani. Of course, we were not fighting for the win, so we still have to work. Tomorrow we have a test. Today both riders were racing with the new swing arm. It means HSC never stopped to try to improve the machine, and so we are already thinking also about next year.
Let's also have a word on Cal Crutchlow, because it looked as though we were seeing a bit of a return to form with him. He finishes the top satellite rider. He crossed the finish line, sandwiched between Aleix and Bradley. What did you think of his performance here today?
I'm reasonably happy. Let's say I still honestly expect more from Cal. I know he has the potential to be faster. At the beginning of the season he was faster, so it's a little bit strange that instead of getting more used to the bike, it's getting more difficult. But it's sure this season our machine is not easy to set up, and it's the first season for him on a Honda, so next year will be better.
Before we go, Livio, I need to get your take on the championship title fight between Valentino and Jorge, because I think Jorge was quoted as saying something as it's maybe perhaps now more difficult for Valentino because he's got the task of defending the points gap, and maybe he's got a slight mental advantage. What do you think of how it's going to all pan out?
I think it's a tough championship for both of them. And anyway, next 4 races, the weather can play an important role, as we have seen in the last 2. And Valentino is Valentino. And this season looks like everything, it happened in the right moment. Also, the crash of Marc today, if you think about, at the end, they gave more points to Vale. But sure, at the moment, Jorge is a little bit faster, generally speaking. But Valentino is Valentino, so I think till Valencia will be open.
We'll see. Thank you so much, Livio, for sparing me some time. And of course, don't forget to join us in 2 weeks' time for our triple header when we start off in Japan.